James!
Wonder Boy.
I read the script of Wonder Boys by Steve Kloves, and I'm very much a screenplay person in that I think the screenplay is the foundation of any movie, and so I take it very, very seriously. And I read this script and encountered this interesting and disparate group of characters, each of whom is struggling to find their way in life, each of whom is searching for past promise, future success, a sense of purpose, all serious things. And yet, as I read, I kept laughing. And the more I laughed, the more interested I became, and the more I thought, this could be a very special and unique movie.
Scott Rudin sent me a script written by Steve Kloves of Wonder Boys, and I was a big Steve Kloves fan from Fabulous, Baker Boys, and others, and saw it as an opportunity to do a different type of role than some of the Prince of Darkness roles that I'd done in the last couple of years, something lighter and sillier, but more fun, good character.
Michael Douglas was interested in the script actually at the time that I read it, and so I read it thinking about him, and that's part of what excited me about the project.
Curtis also, I think, having come off of LA Confidential the year before, pictures like Hand That Rocks the Cradle, was looking to do something with levity and lighter, and lo and behold, he's not only a great director, but a good sense of humor, and we looked at the script and had one meeting, looked each other in the eye, and said, let's go for it.
I'm assuming, though I never really asked, but I think Curtis had thought of me for the role, and he presented me with the script, and we talked, and I was fascinated with his previous work and was really interested in working with Curtis and seeing what he did with the script, and I really loved the character.
I love working with Curtis because he just seems like he's having fun every day on the set, which is great, Certainly there's a lot of work he does, but he doesn't really show it to me, He just shows up and makes me feel like we're there to have fun and gives me freedom to contribute whatever I have to contribute.
Isn't that a nice greenhouse?
It's Mrs. Gaskell's. It's her hobby.
I thought you were Mrs. Gaskell's hobby.
Oh, piss off, will you, Krabs? I lost a wife today.
Oh, you'll find another. She'll be young, beautiful. They always are.
Grady Tripp is a 50-year-old tenured English creative writing professor at a liberal arts college back east who's having a bit of a crisis, basically because he's never made any choices in his life. He's kind of let his life just go on and happen. And he had a very successful novel early in his career that he's not really quite sure how he wrote.
Casting is one of the things I enjoy most as a director, and I try to do it not only as a director but as a member of the audience. And I like to think about who could not only play the part but who could surprise me, who could show an aspect of themselves that maybe I didn't know was there before. And with Grady Tripp, Michael sort of goes forward with a complete absence of vanity and plays this character to the hilt, allowing himself to be very vulnerable and very funny in a way that I had not seen him do before.
As we meet him on this crazy weekend, his third wife has just left him. He constantly is self-medicating by being a chronic pot smoker. And having tenure, he never really has to make any decisions until this weekend, and where he's forced to have to make a choice.
I want to be with you.
Gee, Grady, that sounded so heartfelt.
No, really, Sarah, I do. Honest,
No, I believe you want to be with me, but it's just not good enough.
I know that. I mean, I know what's at stake here.
No, I don't think you do. It was great to work with Michael. I didn't know him before, but as actors, there was a certain feeling of ease in our relationship, in the storytelling of the movie.
He's so engaging as an actor. He's such a good actor and really knows how to get in there and play. And he really brings so much, so many brand new ideas that I was really in awe of him. He was very inspiring.
the challenges to me in telling the story of a 42-year-old woman who was pregnant and had a choice to make in her life at that stage of her life was really fascinating to me. I know what you're going to say.
I don't think you do know what I'm going to say, sir.
You love Emily. Of course you love Emily. She's young, she's beautiful, she's your wife. You have to stay with her.
But I don't have a choice. Emily left me.
She'll come back.
Well, Frances is great. She's a no-nonsense actress, deplores sentimentality, really appreciated her energy, because this is a kind of picture where Grady's walking around in a stone stupor all the time, and I think Frances recognized what her responsibility to the picture was, which was to pick up the pace, and also in the limited scenes that we have together to create a belief of true love.
You didn't happen to call our house last night, did you?
I think I might have, yes.
What do you think you might have said?
I think I might have said I was in love with you.
There's a lot more information about the character in the novel. And though I read it, to a certain extent, you can't bring that much information to the storytelling of a film. It's a different medium. Hopefully, you feel in the film is that there's a lot unsaid. There's a lot more you want to know about her. It's not just as cut and dry as she's the chancellor of a college, married to a professor, maybe a bit of a pretentious author, and having an affair with a dope-smoking, reckless sort of author.
You're mad at me, aren't you? You're mad because I shot your girlfriend's dog.
It wasn't her dog. It was her husband's. Who said anything about a girlfriend?
The character of James Lear is a very difficult character in certain ways because he is so hard to get a handle on. He's devious, he's a liar, he's dark, he may be suicidal, he's funny, we need to care about him, and we also need to believe that he has the capacity to write a brilliant book.
James is scared. I think he has problems relating to people. He's not very good socially. And he has a lot of pain, and he's very sort of young and dramatic and has this obsession with these, celebrity deaths. And I think he's almost like walking towards that in some strange way.
Once we actually got into making the movie, as we were doing literally the first big scene that he played, Toby suddenly, for me, became James Lear, and I could not imagine anybody else saying those lines. I couldn't imagine hearing anybody else's voice.
James?
It's fake. It was my mother's. She won it in a penny arcade in Baltimore when she went to Catholic school.
Well, that's very convincing.
I used to shoot these little paper caps, but they don't make them anymore, the caps. It's just for good luck, you know. Some people carry rabbit's feet.
You carry firearms.
Most young actors have a nervousness or a need to do something when they're on camera. Toby has the ability to exist. I mean, to truly exist, and a truthfulness that you don't see except in actors like Humphrey Bogart.
Say, why don't you come out with us? After the lecture, there's this place up on the hill. I always get Trip to take me.
Actually, I just want to go home.
Don't be silly. No one your age just wants to go home. Besides, faculty will be present. Just consider it a field trip.
As Robert's director, what pleases me most is the precision and specificity of his performance, punctuated like a diamond turning in the light, with flashes of unmistakable, irrepressible Downey brilliance.
Robert Downey Jr. is my favorite actor of his generation. I think his range is extraordinary. He lights up. Every take is different. We were so fortunate to have him in our company, and I think he brought so much life to the picture.
Robert's unbelievable. Talk about freedom, you know. This guy is just ready to have fun and try anything, you know. And he says, "Oh no, can we just try it one more time? Let's try it like this." And I just love. There's that moment. I'm on the couch and I'm huddled up in my sleeping bag, and Professor Tripp's at the desk, and Robert comes in and he has a conversation with Grady, and then he looks over at me. He says, "Jimmy." And then he turns and walks out. It's just like, whoa. You know, for James, it's just like, what happened?
Check this out. Finally, the door opened. It was a shock to see him, shuffling into the room like an aging prizefighter, limping, beaten. Does that sound like anyone we know?
A lot of times with Wonder Boys, that's where the title comes from. A Wonder Boy is somebody who had sort of like an effortless success, but didn't really have the ability to analyze the talent or where it came from, and was caught that after that success happened, how to replicate it.
The one-hit wonder thing is a thing that's in all businesses, and it's most public, obviously, in the movie business, the music business, and the business of writing books. It's got to be extremely difficult to have that magic happen and realize that it might be something that will never happen again.
Grady, you know how in class, how you're always telling us that writers make choices?
Yeah.
And even though your book is really beautiful, I mean, amazingly beautiful, it's at times, it's very detailed. And I could be wrong, but it sort of reads in places like you didn't really make any choices.
The challenge is to, as I say, accept what is and move on from it, and recognize that certain things you do, you were able to do because of who and what you were at a certain point in life, and things change, and you can't always be young, you can't always be the Wonder Boy, but you can turn into something else.
As for me, I lost everything. My wife, my book, my job, everything that I thought was important. But I finally knew where I wanted to go. And now I had someone to help me get there.